That's amazing. He walked out. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and this is a special game according to me. We're looking back at the year 2022 in sports. We're going to be recounting and talking about some of the things that happened this past year. And then at the end, we're going to, or at least I'm going to give you my thoughts on some of my kind of awards type of things, like who was the athlete of the year, game of the year, yada yada yada, things like that. I think you will enjoy that as well. And on this very last day of the year, 2022, we'll also remember those we lost in the sporting world this year. But right now, let's just go ahead and let's do this in chronological order. Let's go back to January 2022. So how many of you out there remember that Antonio Brown fiasco in New York when he took off his shirt and his clothes and all his pants and he ran off the field? You ever remember that in New York? Can you believe that was earlier this year, January of January 2nd? Yeah, that was January 2nd when he acted like a numbskull and took off his all of his jersey equipment, things like that, and ran off the thing, and then the Buccaneers had to immediately release him from the thing. You know, there's something wrong with him, and it's just or he is just really one of the most narcissistic people to ever like be born. I mean, it's all about him, and it's like nothing else. So it's just very strange. And that was a very strange day when it came to the NFL. It was just ridiculous. And the next day, Monday night, I think was Ben Roethlisberger's goodbye game to the hometown, to his last home game. It was still his victory. They beat the Browns 26-14, but he took a lap around Heinz Field, then called Heinz Field, and it's unreal. If you remember, like later on in that, opportunity to go and make the playoffs. This wasn't his last game, Jay Witten. His last game was actually in a couple of weeks when he went to the playoffs and played the Chiefs in the playoff game. But that was a very sad time for a lot of people. Ben Roethlisberger gone, not forgotten, and now Pittsburgh has Kenny Pickett to try to pick up the pieces, and they're now trying to make another run with the playoffs with Kenny Pickett, or at the very least trying to keep Mike Tomlin's record intact of not having a losing record. So he's been 8-8 and or better, but never had a losing record. So like what, 17 years? Yeah, 17 years. So that's be interesting to see. The Georgia Bulldogs completed their quest of becoming the national champion, beating Alabama 33-18. Great day for the Georgia Bulldogs as they seem to have taken the title from Alabama. As we know, this year another tremendous season, 13-0, number one seed going into the playoffs. The odds-on favorite to win again, back to back. So, still the dynasty is starting to brew down in Georgia. So, an absolutely incredible time for college football, and there's nothing else to be undefeated. Excuse me. That I am taking I'm taking a lot of these, actually, taking all of these actually from an ESPN.com story, best sports moments of 2022. So if after I finish this, you think there was something that I missed, it's because I'm just going by the ESPN calendar thing. So next one was the AFC divisional round in the playoffs. That great game between the Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Bills. And as when you think about it, that whole entire weekend of the divisional round was incredible. The Bengals, the Niners, the Rams, and the Chiefs, they all won their games on walk-off scores with a combined margin of victory of just 15 points. Unreal between those two. But really the highlight was the Chiefs-Bills game. And we might be talking about that game a little bit later on coming up. But it was truly amazing, their weekend. So uh, David Ortiz gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's become the first full-time DH to be voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame on the first ballot. So yeah, and now they do that, and um, now there's going to be more of them because they got both leagues have DHs, which I was totally against, but that was everything that it had to be. So let's see. That into January, and then we have February. The Olympics happened, and these were the least watched Olympics of all time. Nobody watched these Winter Olympics, and I don't know if it was just because this was the Summer Olympics had to be pushed back because of COVID to 2021. So then it came right. So then right after you get finished with the Summer Olympics, 6, 7 months later, we got the Winter Olympics, and maybe you're not into them or whatever, but the least watched Olympics ever in history. So it was not a good time for the Olympics, but it was there when it happened. Let's see. So obviously, also in February was a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford finally gets his Super Bowl ring. Finally gets maybe some respect that he truly deserved. He's been a pretty good quarterback in this league. I don't know if he's the Hall of Fame quarterback that Dan Orlovsky says he is, but he's best friends with Matthew Stafford, so he's got a little bit of a dog in a fight. But they beat the Bengals 23-20 after a fourth quarter comeback. Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp. The deep over, and they got to Joe Burrow as the Bengals were driving. Fortunately, the in back for apparently still has not been healthy and cleared enough to pay, because otherwise he would be. I would guess he would have been on the Dallas Cowboys. So it's unfortunate he'll have to make a comeback next year. But yeah, it was just a great time for the Los Angeles Rams, and all of those trading of the picks and all of those trading of the players and everything like that came home to help the Rams win this. And I think, after this season with a bunch of injuries and just not playing well, some people may say, well, maybe it wasn't worth it, but it is worth it because you got your ring, and listen, Stafford. We'll see what happens next year, Stafford. If he continues to decline, or if this was a 1 year type of thing. But um, I think they did just right. Did the Rams because it got them their Super Bowl. It got Aaron Donald his Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford his Super Bowl, and it got Andrew Whitworth his Super Bowl, who won I believe he won the Man of the Year the night before at NFL Honors before the Super Bowl. So um, yeah, I think it truly worked for um, for the big guys in Los Angeles. Five stars, winning the Kobe Bryant MVP award, won 50 points, and it was the team. It was was the stars there. Let's see. We can go to March uh, 7th. San Antonio Spurs head coach Javier Popovich was win 13-30, right? Broke the NBA record held by John Nelson. Uh, the all-time leader in wins for a coach. I'm guessing that'll be the record that he broke. So, uh, also in March, apparently the Live Golf Tour started up, and to try to compete with the PGA Tour. So that was very interesting. I guess some people did, some people, you know, do not, and it's been a very controversial thing because it's backed by the Saudis, and of course with the Saudis and everything like that, the things that they have done in the past and things they will probably do in the future. So people wonder how could you be a part of that? But it's a whole bunch of money. In fact, they were talking about trying to get Charles Barkley to be a part of that. Um, to be a part of that, and so it just was what it was. So and it had a unbelievable time. So after that controversial inaugural season, Live Golf transferred to a league with 14 events and over $400 million in to be exact. Um, and clearly lawsuits things like that, and that's not going to be expected until January 8th, 2 years away. So, so how about this, right? Big surprise, making the Final Four. Um, and then used his frenzied defense and deep rotation to upset second-seeded Kentucky. Seventh-seeded Purdue to become the Elite Eight. Um, you know, the pitch after his Heartlands and halftime sub. He's very first touch. It was a really scary thing for even those who not soccer fans like myself, but we remember this. And there were on Saturday you woke up and found out that this guy had collapsed, wasn't breathing. It just, and they got him mentally. They got hurt going, and he returned to the field earlier this year. Great moment. during war, um, Duke, North Carolina, ending, signaling the end of Coach Krzyzewski's season long at 2 wins, 5 national titles, 7 time for this team, and truly thing, um, truly amazing. Um, Send them off with a great, well, they tried to. The Masters, Tiger Woods make his return to the Masters, and he had a very car accident happened. It was just unreal, and he'll be the Tiger that we all knew and loved, but it, came back this year, and it was good to see him come back and at least try again. I think he even played in the PGA Tour. So I think this is the guy that in 2023, in 2003, excuse me, he came up from came up from Niners as a rookie, helped Cubs in the Ace NLCS and helped them win it. So yeah, it was later. He rose Alex Rodriguez and Rafael Palmeiro, and Pete Rose for use or alleged use, and of course they should be in. All three would be in. It was another just fun time to exit. Was home in Serbia when he was surprised with his second 7 assists, contribute to the award that he was received, and truly astonishing. Doing it again, and it is unreal happening with. And there is something called, but Nikola Jokic, but like some of year after just on that base. So it's a great accomplishment for back-to-back MVP. So something we didn't mention is .com and their little best sports moment of the year review. And I guess because this is not a great sports moment, but let's talk about it right here. They have it right here in the middle of their in the middle of their piece by the Russian government for having what it was, things like that. So she was detained and for she was convicted, sentenced in prison, and um it was for her due to a something that is some things Joe Biden decided to try to and I believe earlier this month in December 8th, she was released. Um, the Marine over there declared, her and her wife have declared that she's going to do everything they can to get including Paul Whalen, I think that's his name, get them free. And then That's what I hope, and I hope that she does continue to do that, because if she does, you know, it's going to look bad that give up, because after all that she went through, to then say that she is and then don't do anything about it, makes her look very, very bad. So hopefully she will continue. She has said that she wants to play in the NBA again. So it is true. So, but and not just basketball players, but all Americans will be able to be, released, and that they are wrongfully detained. And yeah, but it was Brittany Bryant was brought home, and um, there was this one thing that happened that was a big time this year. So in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, Steph Curry put up 31 points in the six game series against the Boston Celtics, giving him the Finals MVP and making their fourth title look practically preordained. They are now four-time, and it's Iguodala. Those four have been on the Golden State Warriors for all four championships, and of course Steve Kerr has coached them 12 rings, 13 rings, I think. Is he? No, 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 no. He wouldn't. No, he didn't have six with the Bulls. He had three. He was part of the last three Pete. I think San Antonio. He was part of three of their five. And then he had his Steve Kerr. I don't know exactly who, but that's an amazing, and he's going to the Hall of Fame as well, for not only being one of the great coaches of all time, but of course he's still the, even with Steph Curry and how everybody else shoot threes, he's still the best three-point shooter by percentage of all time. So that is something unreal that happened. Golden State Warriors continue to be like Crash personified. In June 26th, the Colorado Avalanche won a Stanley Cup, and it kind of it kind of bent it. So that was one of the big things this year for those of you guys who like hockey. In August 3rd, we lost maybe the greatest broadcaster in history of baseball, Vin Scully. Um, Passed away at the age of 94. He was great for baseball. He was great for all sports. He did more than just baseball. He called some other sports as well. But we basically know him for being uh, the Dodgers play-by-play guy, and unfortunate that he passed away. But he lived a long life, and he lived his life greatly. So he will always be missed. Someone who will be missed, but who did not pass away, was Sue Bird, probably one of the GOATs of the WNBA. She ended her 21-year career with the Seattle Storm. Um, in August. Had a short playoff run, but she has been just a a she's been a absolute ambassador for women's basketball and basketball in general. And the sport will miss her. But congratulations, Sue Bird, on a tremendous career. Obviously, a future Hall of Famer without question. So, August 28th was the finals of the Little League World Series. Hawaii guys from Honolulu, they beat people from Curacao 13-3 to win the Little League World Series. But what I want to talk about is at some point earlier in that World Series, there was another great moment of the year when one of the pitchers for a team he accidentally hit a batter in the head, and he was so distraught that the kid who was okay, and he went to first base, and he hugged the pitcher, told him that he was okay, and that he was going to be fine. And I think that's one of the best moments of the year. It just shows great sportsmanship, and it's just truly amazing. So I wanted to take time out to think, to endure that picture. That's one of the great pictures and great moments in this year. Truly amazing. When So now we go to September, and we're starting it talking about maybe two of the all-time greatest. The Serena uh, retires, um, and she made a one run at it, but she could not. Uh, Ida Thomas, sorry that name, but she lost. And Roger Federer finally had he moment as him. It was go turn again those itself and just all time months to better and to retirement in the same is amazing that they all have their time in the sun. Third as hit his 0 win over the and I would put with Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds on start just seemed like it was happening. I think he wasn't even playing at some point. All of a sudden he gets starts to get hot, boom boom, and he's someone who is environment going to the going to be so I give him all the play this I would baby. So later in September, of course, we had the unfortunateness of what went down with Tua Tagovailoa, and that did all over again. And again, this week, concussion protocol. And it's about, should you have caught it? Are they looking for the right things and things like that? But Tua self-reported this week, and so good on him, and hopefully he can continue to live his life and play the game and be so that helps him. So in the offseason, Aaron is going to hit 50 home runs this season. To do 62. Broke in the American League record of the most home runs in the American League. But it's not home run leader. You're an idiot. This is Barry Bonds. He home run rate was 73, and he requires 70 and 64 and 60. So let's face it, guys. Just because you think someone, you know, well, in the case of McGuire, we know there's Sosa. There is definitely no proof that he cheated. The American League, but congratulations signing a major with the Yankees and becoming the. I think that for yourself. After that signing the contract, he bet on himself. It worked. It with the run to the playoffs, but it was what it was. The careers of all time. Those who are 6 now are already grandfathered in, but nobody else would ever wear the number 6 again. And the NBA season series, the first cheating scandal few years ago. Should have been players too. They're shortstop and they're up people and winning. It's amazing what the ways they are doing. So that's truly incredible stuff. That was Kyrie Irving. Out stuff against me. Stupid fuck. I want him to work the Nets as most of another team. And as you can see, the Brooklyn Nets have, as early in the year 14 could be able to, you know, Curry and LaVelle Davis Jr. were killed, and that's unfortunate. The Argentine Cup in several years, and reaching his the greatest soccer player of all time. We lost Mike Leach a couple weeks ago. Coach, founder of the players this month for Vikings. We lost after was a week that was going to be 50th of the teams that are wasn't going to get there. I don't know if it's. Oh yeah, can't look at it forever. Let's talk about some of the other things happening this year. Give out some awards, shall we? Let's give out the team of the year. What team showed the most this year? I think that's the Golden State Warriors. Where they were at with all of the injuries to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and all the things that they had in getting the number one pick and getting James Wiseman and a lot of other guys that they've drafted in the lottery over a couple of years to come back and to be so good at doing what they normally do and come back and to win a championship, I think is fantastic. So the team of the year is going to be Golden State Warriors. For the comeback of the year, to be down 33 points at halftime and come back and win the game and have it be the greatest comeback ever in NFL history. I think you got to give it to the Minnesota Vikings coming back on the Indianapolis Colts just a few weeks ago. A truly amazing comeback. And, a lot of people are going to say, well, how do you get down 33 points to begin with? Well, sometimes you go in lackadaisical. It happens it happens to the best of teams. But then you come back, when you get to halftime, and you come back and you make a play for it. Yeah, that's truly spectacular. So, Minnesota Vikings deserves to win the comeback of the year. Moment of the year. We talked about a lot of good moments this year, and a lot of sad moments about the retirements, and I also brought up the Little League World Series thing. Truly awesome, but I think the moment of the year is Tiger Woods coming back and playing in the Masters after his devastating injury just a year ago. So, and to come back and to play well in that first round, play well in that first round was truly amazing to see. And who knows what's next for Tiger Woods? He loves playing with his son Charlie, but I gotta tell you, it is fantastic to see him out there playing golf, being a father, and doing things that I'm sure he certainly loves to do. So one of the years, Tiger Woods coming back and playing in the Masters. The game of the year, you got to go all the way back to January. It's that AFC divisional playoff game against the Bills and the Chiefs, where you had that just back and forth fourth quarter with the Chiefs score a touchdown. And then, actually, the thing was like even like this: the Bills score a touchdown, and then the Chiefs come back and they hit a touchdown with Tyreek Hill, and the Bills drive down the field and hit another touchdown to Gabriel Davis, and you think that's it with 12 seconds left, 16 seconds left, whatever it was, and then you have the kickoff, and then you had the one pass to Travis Kelsey for a timeout. Then you had another pass to Travis Kelsey, another timeout, and then here's the record: kicks a field goal, a long field goal, and hits it. You go to overtime. The Chiefs get the ball, drive straight down the field, and score a touchdown. Amazing. It's changed the way the NFL is going to do overtime in the playoffs. You know, each team in the playoffs is guaranteed to get a shot at the ball, whether you score a touchdown or not. And it's because of the whole thing with Josh Allen. So not getting the opportunity to get his hands on the ball. But an amazing game. I think it proved Josh Allen was he's the top quarterback in the league, and I still think though that even though he's had some struggles this year, I think all in all everything that he does, his arm, his legs, everything like that. And at the beginning of the season, he was also working with his mind. His mind was starting to get the game too as well. And but he's like I said, he's had some struggles as of late, but I think he's still the best quarterback in the league. And without question, there's no doubt that this was the best game of the entire year, and it happened in January. The Chiefs and the Bills, AFC divisional playoff round. And finally, the athlete of the year, I think Sports Illustrated had it correct. Sportsman of the year, Steph Curry, and it is Steph Curry. When you lead your team to a fourth NBA championship and you become the MVP, and during that season you become the all-time 3-point leader, I think that's without question. Steph Curry just continuing to prove himself to be one of the all-time greats. I think he's definitely top 10. He may even be top 5, and it's so so wonderful that we can watch this man do what he does each and every week, each and every day. You know, when he plays a game, I think it's fantastic. It is a treasure and a pleasure to watch him play basketball. It truly is, and cherish it because he won't be around forever. So cherish this right now. Where we can get on Steph Curry, my 2022 Athlete of the Year. Hands. Maybe you should, but why did we get a Monday? I didn't use it. Keep it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, when you start that, what about? All right, guys, and that is it for this episode of the Game According to Me, my 2022 year in review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think anything that I missed should have been talked about a little bit more or expounded upon a little bit more. You can put it down there in the comment section. And for those of you guys listening on the podcast version, I'm going to let you know right now that you're going to hear some dead air. Because we are getting ready to, for the people watching on YouTube, show the in memoriam where we remember those that we lost this year in the sporting world. So yeah, so those of you guys listening on the podcast, you can stop after I close it out. But for those of you guys watching on YouTube, we're gonna do pay our respects to those that we lost in the year of 2022. Thank you guys again for watching and listening. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I'm out.